Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Fine, thanks.
Good. What is Temperance Hall all about?
Temperance was a religious group of people who would have held meetings here teaching against the use of alcohol, tobacco, and profanity. They would have been closely associated with the Presbyterian Church next door. Organization was strictly women for the major part. Of course, later years, men and children were invited to join. But any unused pieces of wool clothing were also saved, cut or tore up into strips, and hooked into mats. A lot of people would have had just the bare wooden floors. So if you go to bed on a cold morning, put your toes on a nice warm mat beside the bed. Sure would have felt good. And the nicer the mat, the more care was taken of it.
This is the Cummings house. It's built in the 1840s. It's the oldest house on our site.
Okay.
And it's just set up as a modest pioneer home from that period. We make soap and candles here. Make our candles out of beeswax and the beef tallow.
Handmade, yeah.
Yes.
Wow, it's beautiful.
And like here, it's feathered mattress
Oh, right.
and straw on the little babies. And that was so they could change it if it got wet. They'd,
That makes it a little easier, doesn't it?
oh yes.
This is Greenwood Cottage, and it was built here in 1870 by John and Sarah Cumminger. And they were one of the more wealthier families in the village. John, he was into shipbuilding, lumbering. He was co-owner of the store, and he also had shares in the local gold mine.
So when was the last time someone lived in this house?
1982.
Oh, all right. And what state was it in 1982?
It was more modernized building. They had electricity, plumbing in it.
Yeah.
They had to take that out for the restoration.
But there is electricity, right?
Those are run by a carbide generator.
They certainly have. That's wonderful. No, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, aren't they great? Oh, isn't that terrific? Oh, that's cute. And you had the perfect look, your daughter.
The kids back in that day.
Yeah.
It's right on glass.
Wow.
It's called
on glass.
It's on glass. It's called ambrotype photography, and we're using a 1905 camera. It's 95 years old. Try not
so
to
this is
move.
why you
All right.
gotta move as little as possible.
That's right. Because of the long exposure time, you have to be as still as you can. Any movement's going to cause a blur. So I'll get you standing back there. A woman, it depends. Whoever's in back is got the hardest position to hold.
They carried a wide range of merchandise because it was too far away from Halifax or from Antigonish to get supplies. So the Cumminger brothers would have carried all of these things from housewares to groceries to yard goods. Out back you'll find a treadmill that's operated by a dog to churn butter.
Really? That I gotta see.
And this is the Donald McDonald Tailor Shop, and the Donald McDonald started the shop here in 1847, and it operated here within his family till 1943. And it would have been men's and boys' clothing. And they also would have sold hats, trunks, and hat boxes, and that type of thing as well.
Okay. Very nice.
The trunk on the far right is over 200 years old.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good.
We had court in the courthouse every month up till the end of July. Then
Why don't you have it anymore?
They cut it out. It's too expensive. Yes, no money.
Does that bother the town? That they're kind of losing these little...
Well, kind of, because
would
it
think
was
so.
interesting. Like even for tourists who came, they could sit in and, you know.
Right, it was a
Yes,
real working
yes,
town rather than a
yes.
town
That's right.
that you're looking at
Yes.
from the past.
Yeah.
Does the place get approached by film companies to shoot here?
Yes, we had films done here.
You have?
Before, but it's a long time ago. That was in the 70s.
Would they not do it now?
They would
I would
if they
think
get approached.
Of
yes,
course.
yes.
It's perfectly set up for that,
It
isn't it?
certainly is. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell all my friends in Hollywood.
Yes.
Are you? Well, there you go.
Certainly tell them all to come
Well,
down
look,
here.
I've got two beautiful starring actresses right here.
We're ready
Come.
to go.
Yes,
The money's good, you know, a little fame,
There
fortune.
you go. We're ready.
we're ready anytime.